Perfect. All right. So, for you, is there anything really specific you want to change?
I guess I'm fearful of everything.
Feeling
Like,
fearful of
there's
everything?
Nothing that like always like scared about like doing new things. Always the question of what if. Always like doubting how capable I could be about anything.
So, fearful of new things, doubting what up, and people, what was that?
Like doubting myself always.
Doubting
like
yourself
if it's gonna
always.
work. Yeah.
If it's going to work. Okay, so you want to stop feeling fearful of new things and people and doubting yourself. And what do you want instead? What do you want to replace that with?
I guess well, being more secure.
Being more secure.
Changing all those negative thoughts that always come to attack me when I want to start something.
Changing all those negative thoughts that want to attack you when you want to start something. Okay.
And then I want to stop attacking my body.
You want to stop attacking your body.
Yeah.
And so what do you want to do instead as far as your body goes?
I want to be healthy.
You want to be healthy?
Yeah.
And so just so I understand you better, because healthy can mean so many things to so many people. For you,
Okay.
what does healthy mean for you? What might that look like?
Well, I'm being told that if I lose weight, my diabetes will be under control.
Okay.
Because I keep attacking every time that I get anxious because trying something new job, new days, anything.
Okay.
Always go into that doubt, fear.
Okay.
Eat.
Doubt, fear,
And then
eat.
yeah.
And so instead of doubt, fear, eat, what might you want to have your reaction be instead? Just
What was the question?
if you could choose a different reaction that's better for you, what would you want to do instead of doubt, fear, eat?
Well, I want to trust myself.
You want to trust yourself?
Like I said, I want to be secure.
You want to be secure?
What would be the opposite for fear? Just
Cool, confident, self-assured.
confidence, trust.
Yeah. And so, because sometimes people feel stress, like that's just part of life sometimes. So, if you could pick a healthy response to stress, what would you want your healthy response to be? It doesn't have to be anything special, just whatever would be what feels good for you. Like, what would you like to do? Like, oh man, I feel some stress. What would you like? What would be like kind of a cool reaction instead?
I don't know. Maybe
It's the first thing that comes to you.
comfort.
Comfort? Mm-hmm. That's great. So when you feel stressed, you just realize you can feel comfortable. Mm-hmm. Perfect. So we're going to go over a little thing here, right? So this is a cool little card. I'll give you one of these to hold on to. So it's going to give you a list of things that it's how the unconscious mind communicates, right? Because what's happening consciously is much less the issue at hand. The unconscious mind is what runs our lives, and it's its job, right? If we had to do everything consciously, we just wouldn't be able to function. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
There's too much. So the conscious mind lets us have free will, but compared to the unconscious mind is like an ant riding on the back of an elephant, which is the unconscious mind. So the ant might be facing north towards some really nice stuff, but if the elephant's used to going south, the ant's going like this, but the elephant's going like that. Where's the ant going? It's going with the elephant.
Right.
Right.
That's
So,
exactly how it feels.
and so what we're going to do is we're going to go and make friends with the elephant and say, hey, like, because it always means well. The unconscious mind really believes it's helping, and in some ways it is. But if there's better ways to help, if we don't just communicate with it on its terms and give it its dues, then it's a lot to ask for it to change. But if we communicate with it on its terms, give it its dues, then it's happy to help. And that's really the point of this process. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So, the unconscious mind always answers first. So, like, when something just comes to you, that's your body talking to you. When I say unconscious mind, you could also say autonomic nervous system, that which beats your heart, and makes your blood flow, and digests your food, and makes you breathe. Same thing, right? Always answers honestly. You could also say it always answers candidly. It's like a little kid with no filter. So whatever comes to you is true in your nervous system. Doesn't mean it's true in the outside world, but it doesn't matter what's true in the outside world. It matters what's true in that unconscious map. So it's reading from its book. Doesn't matter if you agree or like it. It's what's written there right now. Can't change what's there if we don't know what to change.
Right.
And if we do change what's there without knowing what we're changing, we don't know what we're going to get.
We don't. Yeah.
Yeah. I imagine you'd prefer to take some of that randomness out of your life and replace it with some like strategic positivity, right?
Yes.
Right. So we got to get a very clear read of what's happening back there so we can install that strategic positivity. Yeah?
Yes.
So, always answers first, always answers honestly, always feels like you're making it up. It is speaking to you through the aperture, through the portal of the unconscious, is coming through the imagination. And so it feels like you made it up. It doesn't feel real. But that's just how it communicates. So it's going to have that not real quality. It is not real in terms of your inner nervous system's truths. It's just, again, it's a different thing. It's not how we're taught to be aware, right? Always answers first, always answers honestly, always feels like you're making it up. There's always an urge to edit, discredit, or just forget it, whatever just came up. The conscious mind likes to think it's in charge. It's not. It likes to think it is. It's like a 2-year-old. It's loud, it screams, it demands attention, thinks it runs the world. It doesn't, right? And so what ends up happening often is that the unconscious mind is speaking to us subtly. The conscious mind is often pushing it away, pushing it down, discarding it, and so the important information might get overlooked, right? So because there's always an urge to edit what came up, what I want you to do is be completely candid. So if I ask you a question and the answer is, "Wah," do that. Like zero filter, because the only thing that's useful is what comes up. Not how, don't make it pretty, don't polish it, oh man, that's embarrassing. It doesn't matter. Because it's not stuff you chose, it's stuff that's there. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So we gotta work with what's there if we want it to be something specific and different.
Okay.
Fair?
Yes.
Always answers first, always answers honestly, always feels like you're making it up. Always an urge to edit what came up. It's never loud. It's that still, silent, that still subtle voice in the distance. The quieter it is, the more subtle it is. Usually the deeper it is, and that's probably means it's affecting more things. This is important to be aware of. So, that being said, sometimes it's not even words. Oftentimes it's just a sense of things. Then words follow. Whatever the first words that come to you, sound, whatever comes out of your mouth, let it come out. Avoid editing it. Okay? Completely candid. Always answers first, always answers honestly, always feels made up, always an urge to edit what came up, never loud, almost never linear. I might ask you a question and might have some kind of historical value. The answer that comes up is probably not going to be what you're expecting. That is normal. The unconscious mind has its own way of organizing information. It has its own rules. We're not here to judge those rules, we're here to learn what's on the map. Because if we want to rewrite the map, we have to start with knowing what's there. Does this make sense?
Yes.
So my job is simple. My job is to keep you safe and help you get the changes you want on your terms. Your job is simple. Your job is to follow my directions at face value to the very best of your ability and with the right attitude. What is the right attitude? It's very simple. I love these suggestions. I'm excited to see how they work out for me beautifully. I don't know what they're going to do, but I know it's going to be great. That's a job. Simple enough?
Yes.
I'm going to just take your glasses so they don't fall. Put them over here. All right? Put this on. I'll give this to you afterwards. So, hands on your lap. You okay with a hand on your shoulders? Is that cool for you?
The what?
Are you okay with a hand on your shoulders? Okay. So, take a deep breath and close your eyes. Let it out with a sigh. Okay. Deep breath in. Hold it. Now, very slowly, like you're breathing out of a teeny tiny straw, let it breathe out. Nice and gentle. And just start focusing on your breath. Slowly in and out, and feel the feeling of being seated in your seat, feeling your breath, my hand on your shoulder, all the noises around us just becoming like background noise, like a white noise machine, making it easy to concentrate on my voice and the feelings in your body and your inner awarenesses. That's right. And understand, all the sounds that are around us are just the sounds of our natural environment. They will not distract or hinder you in any way. In fact, all they're going to do is signal you, letting you know that it's perfectly safe and appropriate to go as deep inside as you need. And no matter how far inside you travel, no matter how deep inside you go, you will always, always, always be able to hear my voice, follow my words, follow the instructions, knowing that everything I have to say on everything that I do is for you, to help to give you more and more of the life you want, the way that you want it, by your standards and your definitions. Now, in a moment, not just yet, but in just a moment, I want you to start to allow all of your awareness to move into the lids of your eyes. And with each and every breath you take and every beat of your heart, start to notice those little teeny muscles on the lids of your eyes and realize that any tension, any density, any tightness, you can just allow it to release. Allow it to melt away. Like warm water running over little bits of cracked ice, melting it away, washing it away. There's no need to measure it or manage it or make it happen. Just allow it to happen through you and for you, easily, effortlessly, and intuitively. More, and more, and more. That's right. And you can begin to notice, as your eyes get so relaxed and comfortable, they're getting to a point where it's not that they can't open. It's just that they're so comfortable, they don't really want to. And when you realize your eyes are so relaxed, they just don't really want to open up anymore, go ahead and test it just to be sure. And when you're satisfied, you can stop testing and we'll continue. When you're satisfied, just give me a little nod. We'll move on. Perfect. Now, all I want you to do is spread that sense of relaxation. Allow it to spread from the top of your head all the way down, down, all the way down to the tips of your toes. Deeper and further with every breath you take and every beat of your heart, Alma. Just let go. And in a moment, not just yet, but in just a moment, I'm going to raise your left hand with my left hand. When I do, I want you to allow your arm to be completely asleep. Like you had a whole good night partying, had a lot to drink, and you're just out. Like the whole arm is jello, like a wet dish rag, okay? I'm going to raise your arm up, totally loose and limp. Relax it, let it all go. Totally loose and limp. More. Totally loose and limp. Now, only at the rate and pace that you can allow this sense of relaxation in your whole system, more loose and limp. Let it all go. So double, triple, quadruple this relaxation. We're going to let it, boom, all the way down. 10 times deeper. Raise it up again, all the way down. 10 times deeper still. That's right. Drifting, dreaming, floating, lying, following the sound of my voice. Wonderful feelings of peace and relaxation bubbling throughout your system. That's right. Letting any energy pass and move. Any thoughts that come to you are just like clouds passing by. And sometimes clouds have things they remind us of, but they're just clouds. And so as they pass, oh, it was like a thing. And we're moving on. And that's just how that is. Allowing anything that rises just to rise and move. No need to measure or judge it, just allow it to pass. And if you notice it, you notice it. And if you don't, you don't, and it's all the same difference anyway. Now in a moment, not just yet, but in just a moment, I'm going to ask you to open your eyes, and when I do, when you close those eyes back down, you're going to find yourself becoming 10 times more relaxed in your body. Opening your eyes up and dropping them down. That's right. Opening the eyes up and all the way down, twice as deep. That's right, opening the eyes up, and all the way down, deeper, deeper, further. That's right. And in a moment, not just yet, but in just a moment, we're going to relax your mind, even as deeply, even maybe more deeply than we relax your body, and we're going to do this in a very special way. In a moment, not just yet, but in just a moment. I'm going to ask you to start to notice inside your mind the alphabet, moving backwards, starting with the letter Z. And with each and every breath you take and every beat in your heart, starting with the letter Z, allow each letter to go backwards now, getting farther, fuzzier, darker, harder to see. Turning the volume all the way down, farther, fuzzier, farther, darker, harder to see, all the way down. Now, Alma, I can't do this for you, only you can allow this process to happen for you, easily, effortlessly, intuitively, automatically. No need to measure it or manage it or make it happen. Just enjoy allowing it to happen. That's right. And when it's all gone completely dark, all I want you to do is allow just a finger on your hand with honest and unconscious action just to float up, letting me know. And we'll continue, taking all the time you need.
What's the most controversial?
When it's all relaxed, there you go. Just letting it all relax. Perfect.
One of my
Now,
most well-published
I'm always
quotes
curious
is,
about how people imagine
dreaming
things.
is good.
Inside of your own mind, I want you to start to imagine and notice and
A lot of people
take
talk about dreamers,
inventory,
people on social media,
become aware.
So one of the things
If you were to
I did
imagine
is
a
I went
place
out and I said,
just for you that's so safe and nurturing, encouraging, perfect for you, so incredible that nothing less than positive could exist even for a fraction of a second without being zapped to the other side of the world, to the other side of the universe even, or transformed into the most wonderful thing instead. I'm curious, if you're in that place, your safe place, I want you to notice, what might you see? Notice, what might you hear in that place? What might you smell? What might you taste? Notice all the different things you notice in this incredibly safe, nurturing, reassuring, protective place. Being there now. Seeing what you're seeing, hearing what you're hearing, and smelling and tasting. Whatever you might be smelling and tasting. Noticing the things around you, letting you know how safe, peaceful, and rejuvenating it is. How incredibly easy it is just to exist fully as yourself, no need for explanation or justification. You just get to be, and it's wonderful, it's glorious, and it's just so refreshing. And you can notice there's a feeling inside your body, Alma, that lets you know that you are absolutely safe. It's a place where it grows and stems from. With honest, unconscious action, allow your hand to reach and touch that place the feeling lives inside your body. Just allow, there you go. And keep your hand there, and I want you to notice. First impression, if there was a color or a series of colors connected to that feeling of safety, first impression, what color or colors do you notice there?
Orange.
Notice that specific orange. I want you to just become vividly familiar with it. And if that orange had a smell coming from it, I'm wondering, what smell might it have? First impression.
Flowers.
Orange and flowers. Now that orange and flowers energy had a sound that came from it. What sound might it make?
Music.
Orange flowers music, connecting to that orange flowers music. That's right, you're doing great. Connecting with that orange flowers music. If there was a taste that came to you when you connected to that orange flowers music, what taste might come to you?
Sweet.
This sweet orange flowers music, and connecting with that, that's right. If that energy had a temperature, would it be warm, would it be hot, would it be cold, what would it be like?
Warm.
Warm orange flowers, music, sweet, that's right. Is it soft, is it hard, is it fluffy, is it squishy, is it pointy, is it smooth, what's it like?
Soft.
Soft orange flowers, music, warm, sweet, just connect with that orange energy. I want you to notice a beautiful ball of it growing and swirling above your head, emanating, resonating, allowing it to just radiate onto you, feeling so lovely. Notice how this energy grows infinitely. It fills the room from floor to ceiling and wall to wall and all points in between. And notice how it wraps itself around you like the most incredible sweet orange blanket, a cocoon, a shield, a suit of armor, insulating you, protecting you from anything less than peaceful, positive, reassuring, and nurturing. At the same time, flooding your mind, flooding your body, flooding your spirit with everything you've ever most wanted and needed instead to feel absolutely peaceful and secure and just totally full of life and just positive expectations, not knowing what's coming, but knowing it's going to be awesome. Just allow yourself to connect into that. As the energy continues to expand, filling the air itself, you can breathe it in. Take a deep breath of this orange energy. Let it fill you up more and more with every breath you take and every beat of your heart, like water fills up a bottle, like fluid fills up a test tube, like hot air or helium fills up a balloon. Alma, let it flood your whole system, mind, body, and soul, washing through your veins, your muscles, your bones, all the way down to the cells, down to the very DNA that makes up your body, and it wakes up that DNA and boom, start shifting some things around, letting some really cool things wake up and putting some other things that are less helpful, let them go to sleep. Shifting that all around, feeling peace and pleasure bubbling and rushing through your system, almost like tingles moving up and down your body, feeling the temperature shifting and moving, almost like there's this pleasant little light electrically tingly thing moving through your whole system. And as that continues to happen, feeling these shifts, notice how your body feelings shift and change with every breath you take and every beat of your heart as this incredible orange energy continues to circulate and expand within within you in infinite quantities with every breath you take and every beat of your heart, all the way down to the very subatomic particles that make up the atoms of your body. Slightly altering the frequency they're vibrating at. Boom, harmonizing them. And suddenly anything that's not in harmony with this incredibly peaceful state just shakes out of your body like space dust and is absorbed back to the universe, gets composted and recycled to become something better. At the same time, it replaces that all with the most wonderful feelings, sensations, beliefs, understandings, changing how you've understood so many different things, making it better, more useful, delightful, exciting, rejuvenating, resourceful, just giving you all these things that you always wished could be possible, even better than you thought could be possible. Breathing that in now. Anchor that in so fully and completely that no force in the universe could turn it off or take it away, Alma, not even you. And when you know it's locked in like that, give me a little nod and we'll continue. Perfect. Now just for fun, this will be real cool. Try to make it go away. Try to imagine someone else making it go away and notice what happens instead.
Brain tap, all these different things that are going on. But I just want you to think about how do you separate yourself from that.
It's stronger, that's right. Notice with every breath you take and every beat of your heart, with every thought that does or doesn't cross your mind, with every feeling that does or doesn't move through you, no matter what happens or doesn't happen, it just gets stronger and better with every moment that passes. And the more you focus on it, the faster it gets stronger and better. And even when your mind goes somewhere else, it still gets stronger and better. It just works that way. Take a deep breath of realization. Realize no matter what happens, it gets better and stronger. That's just how it works. That's just what it does. That's right. Take a deep breath in just because it feels good. And I want you to notice an incredible shimmering little ball of that energy right in front of your face. Reach up with your hand and take it in your hand. That's right. Squeeze it in your hand and it turns into a gem, something you can wear, like a piece of jewelry. Put it on wherever you want it to be. Install it on your system. That's right, wherever it feels best. Let that be there and feel it just warming up, and you can smell that flowery smell and taste that sweet taste. You can feel that warm feeling. You can hear that music. That's right, the softness of it all. Feeling safe, rejuvenated, encouraged, empowered. Just, that nice feeling. That's right. What I let you do is let your hand rest in your lap. And imagine like you just woke up from a nice nap where you're not really like oriented, but it's pleasant, but it's neutral. And now, all I want you to do is now remember that gem, that orange energy, and notice how it starts to warm up. And just by thinking about it, it starts to flood your system gently, smoothly, fluidly, warming you up and giving you that warm feeling of safety, that sweet taste, that flowery smell, the music playing, that softness all about you.
Or should I write a book? Should I sponsor an event?
That's right. And notice when you bring intention, let your hand fill with the pure energy of just intentionality. Let your hand start buzzing with that just pure intentional energy. Reach up and touch that gem. And as you reach up and touch it, feel all the way. Feel it surge through your system like a floodlight. Feel it just wash everything away, and now it's like you are a lighthouse, a beacon of this wonderful energy, and everything around you is transformed, transmuted, becomes beautiful and soft and vibrant. Like you are a lighthouse of just beautiful change. Everything around you becomes delighted, and then whatever is not in harmony with that just leaves. Just freaking leaves. It's like, oh, I'm not supposed to be here. Drives it right away. Anything that can change, that can evolve to something better evolves. It's like it's just inspired. It's like sunlight for flowers. And that's you. That's your sunlight. And you just radiate it in infinite quantities. It's all around you. It comes in from out and out from in. Your natural essence. This is just an extension of you. It always has and it always will be. And all we did was just take it out of the box, put it up on display, and remind you it's always been there. It'll always be there, no matter what happens or doesn't happen. All it can do is get stronger, more natural, intuitive, and automatic in your system, more accommodating to your evolution. That's just how it works. Take a deep breath in. Notice this is just the tip of a delightful iceberg yet to unfold for you, because it's going to delight you in surprising ways all the time. Oh, I didn't expect that, but it's terrific. And that's how you just learn now to be moving forward. I don't know what's coming, but it's going to be great. And you just automatically move towards what's like that. And things that aren't like that, you automatically move away from them. You don't feel any way about it. You just notice like, oh, feeling sending me that way. Cool. Something cool is over there. Oh, feeling sending me that way. Okay, it's not over here, it's over there. And that's all it is. It's like, playing hot and cold like Marco Polo. That's all it is. And these senses just tell you, oh, it's over that way. The thing that's great for me is over that way. And you just bring that energy. That's just what happens. It's just how it works. Take a deep breath in. Give me a status report. How you doing right now? Great. Now, we're going to have a little fun with this. Want to have some fun with this?
Yes.
Okay. Notice like a time vortex, like a thing that can move you through time and space, opening up, coming over you and dropping you a week in the future. A whole week of this getting stronger and better, learning with you, growing with you, becoming more and more and more powerful and natural. Time begins to shift. So now a second is like a minute is like an hour is like a day is like a week is like a month is like a year, and suddenly you can move through time. Spend a couple weeks out from a week ahead. Notice all the things you've unlearned and learned instead, all that you've put down and all you've chosen to take on that's for a higher quality of existence for you. See what you see and hear what you hear and smell and taste what you smell and taste as you move through the world with this energy getting stronger with every breath you take and every beat of your heart, everything that happens or doesn't happen, always getting better and better and better. Now, give me a status report. How's that go?
So we've got an event coming up called...
That's great, that's right. Connect to that feeling of greatness. First impression, if that feeling of greatness had a color or a series of colors, what would that be?
Red.
Perfect. Connect to that red like the cosmos, like the heavens are just shining that red down and it absorbs into your whole system and it integrates, it connects to that orange, in fact, and it becomes this beautiful amalgamation of these things. They come together. It's just incredible. And breathe it in. Lock it in. Impossible to make it go away. And when you know it's locked in, give me a nod. Perfect. Now again, just for fun, try to make it go away. Notice what happens instead.
Generating a problem. Good, great start. Here's number 3.
It's stronger.
It's stronger, that's right. Boom, that time vortex opens. It comes over you, and this time it's way more intense. Like, whoa, what's going on? And suddenly you are 5 years in a week in the future. 5 years in a week of this growing, evolving, becoming better, stronger, more natural, more intuitive, more powerful. And everything you do and don't do, your very instincts have just honed to that standard, that default. You wake up in the morning and boom, that energy is there with you, and everything is through that lens. That's right. Time is super dilated. At this point, it's like a second is like an hour, and an hour is like a month, and a month is like a year. Spend a few years out in this timeline. See what you see and hear what you hear. Smell and taste what you smell and taste as you feel whatever it is that you feel. Looking back across the timescape, seeing all the things you put down, all the things you chose to pick up consciously and intentionally instead. All the lessons you've learned and unlearned, all the realizations, all the aha, and all the cool stuff that you've been essentially engaged in and had work out for you. All these delightful surprises that you're like, oh my God, I would have never guessed, but this is lovely. Notice all those things. Take it all in. That's right. Be present with it. Any feelings that come up, let yourself feel them. Knowing that you're safe. And even if sometimes the body lets go of old feelings that weren't as fun when they happened, it's just the shedding of them. And you can breathe that orange and red energy, and it's just like a fog light. So as you let them come up, you learn the lessons behind those feelings. And instead of the hardness of it, you're like, oh, it was trying to teach me this. And as you're like, oh, I see. All the pain turns into wisdom. It turns into peace. And that just kind of state of like agape love, like, I understand. That kind of Zen oneness with all. And then you understand. It all just makes sense. And you feel peace. And you know you're in your power. And all it can do is get better. And more delightful as it unfolds, surprising you and delighting you with every twist and turn. One step back becomes like 10 steps forward, like an arrow pulled backwards and fired out. And one step forward becomes 100 steps forward, like a catapult flying across. That's just how it works for you. It's just your default setting. And it only ever gets better and stronger in ways that are absolutely appropriate for you by your standards and definitions, for your highest well-being, by your standards and definitions. That's just how it is. Take a deep breath in. And realize it can only ever get better. That's just what it does. Take that all in. Spend as long as you want and need out in this world. Taking it all in, getting very, very, very familiar.
space and paper.
I'm just right here with you.
Now online, it's content.
That's right.
If you're good,
Take a deep breath of realization.
so if you have good content, we have a lot of people.
Recognize there's even more to come.
You guys out. They
Better and
just come to
better.
us and they just say, hey David, do you have something they can write?
That's just how it is. Let that feeling up through your throat, let it out your face. Take a deep breath in with energy. And I want you to let the question ring through your whole body, your whole mind, your whole spirit. Who do I get to be now, letting go of that old identity of who I used to think I had to be? Who do I get to be instead?
Sometimes only 2 or 3 hours.
That's right.
Every single one is. We have a massive relationship.
There you go. There you go. Feel
So
that.
hopefully I created some wonder.
Take a deep breath in.
Hopefully I created a perception of value.
How do I get to live instead of how I used to live? Let that question. That's
Jessica,
right. Feel that.
Is on my team. Raise your hand, Jessica. Stand up. She's on our team.
That's
She's one of
right.
our managing editors. There's about a
And what does it get
dozen
to be
of them.
like to not have to justify or explain myself, but just to be, because I can trust me?
She was actually the guest
That's
managing
right.
editor of this particular
Breathe in
issue.
that strong, that brave, that safe. Connect with that. Flood yourself with it.
So she runs Top
That's
Talent
right. Notice how the
Magazine.
body
It's also
feeling
my
shifts and
wife.
change more and more with every breath you take and every beat of your heart as it just locks into your system. Take a deep breath in, anchor it in so completely, so deeply, it is impossible for it to do anything but get stronger and better.
Has been very kind by coming in here. I think we have more people.
And when you know it's like that, give me a nod and we'll continue.
Thank you.
Now, just for fun, try to imagine the most crazy, ridiculous thing trying to mess with it, and notice what happens instead.
Can't.
You can't, that's right. You're doing amazing. Take a deep breath in. Connect to the feeling now with all these things together. First impression, how you feeling?
Happy.
Happy. That's right. If that feeling of happy had a color, first impression, what color or colors might that be?
Pink.
Notice that particular pink, like a ball coming down from the heavens, like Linda the fairy and her little pink bubble coming to you and just absorbing right into your soul, connecting with that red and orange energy, integrating in all the most incredible ways, and just feel yourself just drop into it. It just comes through. You can feel it rushing through your system. You can feel everything redesigning, rewiring, entwined, locked in. Take a deep breath in and realize it will just keep evolving with you no matter what happens or doesn't happen. With every breath you take, with every bit of your heart, so long as you draw breath, so long as your heart beats, and even beyond, it just keeps evolving and growing. That's just what it does. That's just how it works. That's right. Hey, give me a status report. How you doing now?
Good.
Very good. Notice that time vortex opening, and now it does something different. It slowly lets you move like you're almost like floating backwards through time, but you're having the experiences all over again. It's like doubling, but more than doubling, creating this like multiplication of all the learning, all the strengthening, all the growing, all the anchoring. It's all becoming more and more potent, more and more three-dimensional. As you move through the timeline in reverse, it's more than doubled the experience of everything so far. Letting you know even more so, oh my God, no matter what happens, it works out incredible. It's always a little surprising or more, and it's always incredible. It just is that way. As you find yourself coming into what we would call present day, that's right. I'm going to count from 1 to 5. Not until 5 are you going to be fully here. 1. Spirit integrating into this highly updated, upgraded body with all these updates, upgrades, realizations, transformations locked in throughout your mind, body, and soul. As it all integrates through those deepest parts of your mind, body, and soul that are most excited to live it out, just boom, taking it all in and just expanding out like a lighthouse, beaming in all directions, like a glowing sun, and it radiates that orange, that red, that pink. It's the most incredible thing. 2, all of my suggestions from me to you and from you, Alma, to your very own other than conscious mind are now 10 times more powerful, 100 times more permanent, 1,000 times more thrilling, fulfilling, and satisfying than before, and infinitely more intuitive for you. As with each and every breath you take and every beat of your heart, every thought that does or doesn't cross your mind, no matter what happens or doesn't happen from any direction, it all gets better and stronger. When you access it consciously, it happens that much faster, and even when you don't, it's still happening. That's just how it works. 3, because there's always at least 3 or more solutions to whatever comes up, and you're all powerful other than conscious mind easily, automatically, intuitively, effortlessly implements, puts into place whatever solutions for the highest good of you and all those involved in the simplest, fastest way available, because it's all for you. Alma, you did the work, you followed the instructions, you earned the rewards, you created the results, you tested them out, they just get stronger and better. That's just how they work. Head clear, heart clear, spirit clear, body filled, brimming with life-affirming energy, glad to be alive, ready to thrive, like a phoenix rising from the ashes. The last chapter complete, the next stage, the best phase just beginning. Head clear, heart clear, spirit clear, brimming with that life-affirming energy. On the next count, at the rate and pace that feels best and most natural to you. Number 5, take your time, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes and notice how good you feel.
100 miles away, snowed in. Oh my goodness, yeah. It's not a bit.
Great work.
Okay, so you're going to start at 2 o'clock.
I'm still like,
Yeah.
see.
Take time, sit. I'm gonna get you water in a second. Just sit with it. Let yourself simmer. Let everything settle down. Think about it like 5-minute epoxy. Let's give it a second to set, and notice how it just gets better and better. No matter what happens or doesn't happen, it just works that way. That's what it does. As do you, because it's simply an expression of you.
Right over there.
And you've always been there, and here you are out in the world.
Very down there. That's right there. There's the big open space. Right there.
Feels good.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna get you some water. Sit for a second. There you go. So it is very important to hydrate a lot. Because what happens is when we make these changes in the nervous system, the body starts using a lot of water. It also starts flushing toxins. So however much you hydrate way more.
Okay.
Lots and lots and lots of just like water. Cool to room temperature ideally. Hot water is okay too. Like tea is fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Lots of hydration.
Okay.
You did great. You really did. You were great.
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
It's okay.
I don't know that.
You did great.
That's all I heard. You.
Yeah.
I didn't hear nothing else.
Yeah.
Like all this noise. Like now I'm realizing all the noise and I couldn't.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
You did amazing.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah. You were.
so
You were.
much.
It's my pleasure. You were. You were ready to just. You made the change. And now you can feel that feeling getting stronger and better, and it'll just keep getting better and stronger. That's just what it does. And it's an extension of you because you're better and stronger, and you're always getting better and stronger. That's just how it is for you.
You know, I have a feeling like right now, like I was very warm, but then, like right now that I got out of it, I'm like getting cold.
Yeah. So that the temperature fluctuations are really normal. Your nervous system is doing all kinds of updating, and so temperature is getting a little sweaty. Sometimes people just start crying suddenly, or sneezing, or coughing, or laughing, or twitching. Like all that stuff happens pretty commonly, because like the body is just processing changes, and you're spontaneously just evolving and having these wonderful things shift. But it's also and it's also making physiological adjustments rapidly. So the body does kind of like sometimes does like kind of seemingly weird stuff. You're like, why is it that? Because it's just making adjustments. You know, like when you like update the computer, the screen starts flashing for a minute.
Yeah.
The body's doing that. That's all. It's totally normal.
Okay. Great. This is great.
Yeah, you were great. You did amazing.
I was so funny. I was trying to go back to the negative thoughts that I was having because I'm going to an interview on Monday. And I just like, it's fun.
Right? And it'll just keep getting stronger and better and more intuitive. Because what's happening is your nervous system is like, oh, right, this is like way more useful. And it's stoked. Your unconscious mind is stoked to have a way to make things better. It just only knew what to do before based on what it had learned. Now it's learned something that's so much better. And it's like, hell yeah, like let's do that. And you can feel it in your body. Your body's like excited to do it, right?
Yeah. Like, I want to move. Like I want to.
Yeah.
Like energy.
Yes.
Energy.
And it's going to get stronger and better. And what's going to happen is that as this continues to evolve and like a flower blossom, you're going to have more and more and more energy. And you're going to notice, this is the cool thing, you're going to notice you're going to be like way less hungry a lot of the time. You're going to drink more water. And then you're going to notice yourself like, oh, like sweet things are pleasant, but I only want a little bit. Because then you're like, oh, that's enough. And you're just going to naturally feel satisfied with things like in a way that's different from before. Because your body is now giving itself all those things it was feeling from the outside, it's feeling it from the inside. And so all those other things from the outside, oh, that was pleasant, that was enough. Because it's has no need for the compensation. It's like, oh, like I'm excited, I can fill myself. I'm a self-filling cup. That just adds to my delight just a little bit. That was lovely. I had my little chocolate, that was great. Right? And that's just how it is. Because then you're like, oh, I'm good. It's one of that little pinch, it's a little icing on top. And all these things fall into the natural place because you're in your natural place of peace and empowerment and just, you got this. This is how it is.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know. It's amazing.
Yeah, you're amazing.
That feeling.
That's you. What you're feeling is you. Really. That's what that feeling is. That's your own essence just shining through.
Yeah. Yeah, I just feel like, I don't know, like expanded.
Yes.
Bigger, like.
Yes. And you are. That's right. And what happens is that when these things happen, and it's like for a Chinese medicinal perspective, the spirit, the essence, they call it the Shen, it's safe for the spirit to fully come into the body, and it expands, and the body becomes incredibly vibrant. Skin gets brighter and tighter and younger. Eyes start glowing. Like, people like they have all this light in their eyes. It's because their spirit's in their body. And so now it's so much safer. Your spirit's like, yes. And now you are embodied is really what you're feeling. It's literally you're feeling you.
Jensen's grocery store.
Wow.
So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It was great.
It's a pleasure.
I think I feel like the touching in my lips.
Yeah, it's interesting. You get little tingles and stuff like that. Yeah, I got you. Hydrate a lot. Yeah, you gotta hydrate. You did great.
I don't know how I was so scared.
Isn't it funny? And you don't know how because that's not you.
Mm-hmm.
That was never you. That was something else pretending to be you. And now you know what you feel like.
Yeah.
And you know that feeling, that great feeling is you. And you're like, oh, I enjoy being me.
Yeah.
And your body's like, oh, this me thing is way better than that thing. Default setting.
Awesome. It's just great.
Boom, bring it up.
So much.
It is my pleasure. Yeah, sit, chill a little bit, and definitely hydrate. Yeah? And then this is really useful, the unconscious thing, because your body, this is how your body talks to you. So as you move through the world, your body can start, and now your body will start to talk to you much more directly. And so it's just always trying to, it's able to process way more data than a waking mind can, so it sends it to you in senses. And so your body will be like, hey, go that way. You won't necessarily know why, but there's a good reason for it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So when this talks to you, pay attention. And just like sit with it, like, and it'll point you in the right direction. It's like a compass.
Okay.
And it gives you one step at a time. That's just how the body works.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yes.
You're amazing.
Thank you.
That's a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. I'm gonna leave these here in case you want to use them.
Okay.
Boom.